you've got this insane dream, this moonshot you're going after, and you're willing to work at it 24/7 and sacrifice everything to it, relationships and health. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs in that mind?
Well, my advice came from my own experience and from tons of science and data. 2 years into building the Huffington Post in 2007, I had bought into this collective delusion, as I call it, that
I love that collective delusion.
in
Yeah.
order to be the super founder and super mom of my two little girls, I didn't have the luxury to take care of myself.
Mm.
Sleep, to eat right, exercise, etc. And I literally collapsed. I hit my head on my desk, broke my cheekbone. And that was the beginning of my journey
Yeah.
to not just change my own behavior, but become an evangelist about encouraging entrepreneurs and others to really look at the data and the science. It's kind of ironic, Peter, because as entrepreneurs, we are very data driven. We look at all the metrics. And yet, when it comes to the unequivocal science that we are going to be the most productive, most creative versions of ourselves, if we also take care of ourselves, we tend to ignore it.
You think of it for somebody else and not for myself. And
Yeah.
in fact, if everybody else is doing it, but I push a little bit further, I'll be able to get ahead.
So, at the Huffington Post, after my own collapse, I started covering these issues exhaustively. And I remember sitting at a dinner with Jeff Bezos, and he said to me, I had just written my book on sleep.
Mhm.
And he said, I sleep for 8 hours a night. I said, you do? He said, yes. He said, I have analyzed my decisions. And when I'm sleep deprived, my decisions are not as good as I have gotten a good full night's sleep. And he said, as a CEO of Amazon, which he still was at the time, I'm judged by the quality of my decisions, not the quantity of my decisions.
That's amazing. That's actually brilliant of him.
It is amazing. And I said to him, you must write about it. He said, no, I'm private. I don't want to write about it. I said, it's not about you. It's about teaching people who admire you, admire your success, how to do it. And finally, after I kept texting him for 3 months, he did it, I think, to get me off his back. And then, CNBC picked it up, different business publications. It became a part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So Satya Nadella is another one who talks about how much sleep he gets. I was at a Microsoft CEO summit, and he came up to me and he said, I didn't get all the sleep I wanted last night, so I won't be my best. So these are people who are incredibly effective, incredibly successful, who also know that if they take time to unplug, recharge, they're going to be the best versions of themselves.